Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here. I find this format wonderful to have academia and industry together. Industry 4.0, 4.0, I'm coming from Germany, and we put this term into the world, and we say it's because it's the fourth industrial revolution, because afterwards, we defined that automation and robotics and mechatronics of the past 45 years were the third industrial revolution. We did not know that before, but now we know. If you go to America, the United States, more or less, they are not talking about the fourth industrial revolution. They say the third. Why is that? Because the United States concentrated on the computer, on the software, on the internet, on the data, and they lost focus on the industry, on the manufacturing industry. But today you have the United States as global leader in software and internet, and Germany, Central Europe as global leader in hardware. So what it's about the next step in the Industrial Revolution, there will be more or less every product, we heard that in the morning, more or less every product can be part of the Internet of Things. More or less every product will not be a product anymore that's been sold and somebody's using it as an owner, but it will be something in the Internet which can be used maybe with an app, maybe with something that's offered as a service to the users, but they not necessarily might want to own it. That's a big change. The biggest change and the biggest challenge for the successful industry from the past years and decades, because the structures that they have, they were built for the products that we have now and that we had in the past. Not those tiny little things that Guido was talking about this morning. But that will be the future. And that means we have to turn around the thinking, the structures of the industry, because they are not able to support thinking in systems and systems of systems. You know, every smartphone in your jacket is a system of systems. And every engineer in the future has to think about systems of systems when he starts developing something. That means we have to have a different kind of education as well. That was also topic of this morning. We need people that go deep into the things, for sure, also in the future. But we need people that are able to think about the system and to lead teams, like we heard in the morning, teams that are able to develop systems for the internet. And one more thing I want to point out is the clouds and the platforms will change the world of the industry very much. And that there are two things that are two kinds of clouds that are most important. One is the artificial intelligence clouds that are coming up, and IDC thinks, and I think so too, there will be a race about the next platform, and that will be the platform for artificial intelligence. And IDC said Microsoft, IBM, Google, Facebook will be in this race. But the other might be even more important. The platforms that are built by the industry, like Mosaic from Bosch with ABB and Cisco, like MindSphere from Siemens Industry Cloud, like IBM Watson IoT Cloud, who's working now with Schaeffler, like we was told last week. So there's something happening that maybe in the future, the platforms where people can get access to apps from the industry might be more important than the vendor of a product who was selling it to the owner. And that is a revolution, and find interesting enough, when I wrote the first book on this topic 3.5 years ago, most in the industry were saying, don't talk about revolution. Industry is always evolution. It's not a revolution. Today, ABB is talking about revolution, and I think it's true.